All right. All right. So today we are here with Extreme Power, Mr. Lawrence.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah. So, Lawrence, how did you get started with telekinesis?
Believe it or not, I had I guess you would say a Kundalini experience.
Hmm.
Originally I was trying to practice martial arts because like I like to like spar, I like to do boxing and practice pretty much, stay healthy as you can see.
Hmm.
And for the most part, you know, a lot of martial artists practice grounding. That's like part of their thing. A lot of like kung fu, some people that do
Right.
qigong,
Right.
some maybe jujitsu, even maybe like
Right.
you generate a lot of power from grounding. So
Right.
one day I was just thinking about it like, oh, this is probably how guys be punching through wood or they be breaking, wood or make their arms feel like steel. And so then one day I went in the bathroom and I just felt to myself like anytime I ground, I feel like my hands is like magnetic. I feel like my hands is magnetic, my feet get magnetic, my hands get cold a little bit, hands start getting cold. And I started noticing, I'm like, wow, this is kind of different. I'm thinking like maybe this is how they really do things. So I went in the mirror and I told myself that day that this is it. I look and people might think this is crazy, but this is exactly what happened. I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, listen, this is fake. This have to be a hologram, right? So if I make my whole body vibrate, then maybe that's how you turn a body into steel. So let's just see if I could do it. I just want to see how my body will feel. So I'm looking in the mirror, I'm just zoned out. And as I'm trying to generate this energy, I started to see, well, my aura inside the mirror. I did not know that it was my aura then, but I know what it is now. But it was my aura. It was like a yellowish color. Like Akuma from Street Fighter,
Hmm.
how it have like a silhouette. It was like a silhouette, but it was like gold yellow, and it was just like shimmering a little bit. And you know me, I'm excited. At that point, I'm thinking like just high off of my own imagination. I'm just like, yeah, like this gotta be some type of result. So then as I'm doing it, I started to calm down because I noticed that as I'm not powering up anymore, I'm still seeing this aura. So then
Mm.
I started to scare me a little bit. And I'm like, yo, I never seen that before in the mirror like that. Like I have a yellow shadow, you
Mm.
know? And so then as I tried to like one more gust, like a drawer from the ground, this emotional feeling took over. It was very weird, very strange. It never happened to me before. It's like like the inside of my chest started rumbling. And as it started to rumble, I had this crazy sensation come over my body and I just bust out crying, bro.
Wow.
Crying with tears wet coming down my face. I'm crying. I don't even know why I'm crying. I swear to you, I don't even know why I'm crying. It's like you can't stop it. It's like you can't stop it. It's almost like it could have been a verse. Well, I could tell you this. I was crying as hard as if somebody like died right in front of me.
Hmm.
That's how hard I was crying. Like I was crying. And
Hmm.
I'm looking in the mirror like, yo, what is happening to me? And I told a few people my story, like, yo, listen, I was so in shock, I was telling people I was glowing. I'm like, listen, I was glowing in the mirror. I had this yellow thing all over me. Like, nobody can relate. No? Cool. My girlfriend came over one day, and I'm just like, yo, babe, I'm telling you, I can make my hands vibrate. After I charge up, I want you to grab onto my hand and see if you can feel it. She like, all right. So I stood still in the room, right? There was a clothes rack. At this point, I was staying in the hotel. It's on my first video on YouTube. You can check it out. It's part of the result. I draw energy, and out my peripheral is three hangers on a rack that's empty, and only the middle one spun in a circle on the rack, on the
Wow.
clothes rack. So I'm not looking. Let's say the hanger rack is this way. So I'm like, yo, babe, and my girl is that way. So I'm like, babe, just watch. I'm telling you, if I draw this energy out the ground, you gotta be able to feel this. So I took a big inhale through the nose, and then out the corner, it was like just the middle hanger. And I'm looking, I was so in shock. I'm trying to tell her, like I'm standing here like this. Like, yo, babe, you see that? Like, babe, look, she's not catching it. And by the time she caught it, you know, it wasn't really moving. So then now I'm paranoid. I'm just thinking to myself, like, I don't know what's going on. And I'm
Right.
like, if you would have seen what I saw, you would have got up and ran out the room if you would have seen what I saw, because I never seen that like that before. It was scary at the beginning, you know.
Right.
And so
Right.
then I did it again. And when she seen it, she almost ran out the room. She looked up. She was like, babe, is the AC
Wow.
on? Is it something blowing? And the hotel was staying in, it had central air, but there's not enough air to just be blowing through the room. And then mind you, once again, there's 3 hangers. Only the middle one is moving internally.
Wow. That's
And if you go on my
incredible.
first YouTube video and scroll all the way down to my very first video, because I put it in black and white, I wanted to give it the little paranormal effect a little bit, but but
Yeah.
if you watch it, you'll see it. It's just the middle hanger, and that's how it all
Wow.
started. I
That's
was I was I
amazing.
was 2-3 days. I was confused. I didn't know if it was a spirit in the room with me. I didn't know if something came over me. And then I
Wow.
started to go on YouTube. And after I realized, I showed it in front of my brother, I showed it in front of her. So now it's stamped that it's real. Confirmation is done. I have a human witness,
Nice.
and we're both watching this, and I have it recorded. Cool.
Very cool.
I go online, and I started noticing that there's other practitioners that's out there. So when I'm
Wow.
going online, I'm thinking I'm about to post something that nobody ever seen in their life.
Mhm.
I go online, I start seeing guys like Michael Grubb, that's
Mhm.
outside with the weather. When he did this, wind blast, but like all of
Right.
the
Right.
leaves, bro, I
Right.
thought that was the fakest thing in America. I'm like, nah, that's fake. I'm like, that gotta be fake. And then it shows how much of mine elevate, because how can I say that Michael Grubb is fake when this hanger is clearly spinning in the middle by itself and nobody's in here?
Right.
Because
Right.
somebody's about to tell me that this is fake. I know that for sure. They about to tell me that this
Right.
is fake. And so that
Right.
started
Right.
making me think.
Right.
And I went online, and then I seen guys like Seven, believe it or
Right.
not. Seven is
Right.
a hot commodity online, because
Right.
most people feel like even if you do obtain this type of power or enlightenment,
Right. Right.
usually it's older guys, older men, like the wise men or like the
Right.
wizards that,
Right.
when you
Right.
see younger people like us, like I'm 34, but when you see people 20s, 30s,
Right.
some
Right.
18-year-olds that's going
Right.
crazy,
Right.
people
Right.
like, nah, it's like, how did you achieve that so much? But
Right.
it's
Right.
only, believe it or not, it's only what people limit their mind to.
Mhm.
Parents or people are telling you it's fake since birth, you're gonna believe it's fake. If you have people that's telling you it's not fake since birth, or never limit or put a lock on your mind, then it's easier for certain people to really just, skip through the charts. And it's not even really skipping through the charts, it's just that their mind has more free open up doors that's never been locked before. Like if you're trying to
Certainly.
unlock a door that's jammed, it's going to be harder than a person that never locked the door at all. They're just going to open it, you know?
Certainly. Certainly. Right.
So right after I seen Seven and a few other guys sliding foil around. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a big fan of side wheels either.
Oh, you're not a big fan of
I'm
Star
gonna
Wars.
I'm gonna I'm
Okay.
gonna give you a reason why. And its side wheels aren't bad. I'm just saying that I'm not a fan. It's nothing that's against side wheeling. But me personally, I feel like side wheels keep you in a zone where it allows you to get to a state of a clear mind that allows you to be able to stay there for a period of time. And I feel like side wheels are almost similar to what they call being mindful when you meditate. Some people think meditating is hard. It's actually simpler than what people think.
Mhm.
Meditating, you're literally not thinking about anything. The hard part about meditating is how long can you not think about anything? You get
Right.
what I'm saying? So it's like, it's
Certainly. Yeah.
simple, but it's kind of complicated. It's like a
Right.
seesaw. Everything has a polarity. It's so simple, but then again, it's not. Because
Right.
some people's minds is racing 24/7. But if you just let your mind be clear and you have a side wheel, your aura alone, if your aura expands, it'll turn
Right.
side wheel. Then the
Right.
skill of controlling the direction that it spins is what come after that. When you have
Right.
extreme focus, then you could do it through the glass or through the tub. I was just
Right.
watching you on Facebook. That was dope, by the way.
Oh,
I
thank you
was
very much.
I was watching a few things, you know, and that's
Right,
even
right.
like a bigger.
I'm still trying to like move, like kind of like get to seven. Well, seven's like up here, but like I'm trying to still get to the point where I can like graduate the side wheel, if you will. So
Yeah, and see, and this is the thing, right? Now, like with the side wheel, like some people can get it to turn, whether it's in a glass or not, it's still the same focus. It's just that if your aura is strengthening, so it can actually go through the glass.
right,
But now, let's just say you're not using. I mean, well, I see you use your hands a little bit, like with the side wheel. Some people
right,
don't. Some people just like to stare because
right,
they let the critics determine what's telekinesis and what's not telekinesis. And I feel
right,
like that's where everybody makes their mistake at.
right,
Because if I don't have it underneath the glass and it's turning and there's no fan going on in the room, there's something happening here. Period. And it's moving. You get what I'm saying? Now, if
right.
some person put a light piece of paper, you have some people that could put a card on there. Like the Jedi guy, he could put a card on the side wheel and it is
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
And that's heavier than foil and paper. So, you know, that's definitely hard training.
Right.
But everybody, you know, focus to that extent is what's gonna make that side wheel turn. Now, what about moving things with your hands? If you had to put something as simple as a pen or pencil, can you roll that side? Can you roll that pen with that same method that you're turning the side wheel? You can't.
Right.
If not, forget the method. You won't even believe that it's going to move because it's your belief. Think about how before the side wheel actually moved, you have to believe that it's going to spin. So now when
Right.
you stop doing the side wheel, you have to believe that this pen is going to roll. How do you roll
Right.
this pen with the same technique that you turn in the side wheel? You're going to have to practice a different type of form. I read something online one time, and a guy said, "Can a blind person do telekinesis?" You get what I'm saying? It's
Right.
like,
Right.
can they? Because you would say they would have to visualize. You can do telekinesis in many of ways. Some people don't
Right.
need to visualize. Some
Right.
people only need to feel. They have an intent. They feel. They. Some people know how to conjure up their energy based on if they're happy or anger, and they feel the. How can I say? They feel the grid, or they feel like how you say the auric feel around items. They call it like spatial feeling. Like so, it's almost like how blind people can walk and not bump into certain things is because they can feel the aura of items.
Right.
So
Right.
as long as you can feel and you can be able to manipulate energy or gravity, you'll still be able to do telekinesis. So that's why
Right.
some people, when they see guys sliding foil or sliding other stuff, they be like, "Hey, did you meditate for hours before you did that?" And some people will tell you no. You know,
Right.
like me, for example, I meditate like every other day. I practice prana breath, but they have different styles. And basically it's like through your nadi, like inhale one nose up, out the other nostril, inhale through back through the same nostril, out the other nostril. I do that for about 10 to 30 minutes a day.
Nice.
I
Very
do it
cool.
straight through. And people might feel like it's long, but when you get more lung power, your lungs hold more oxygen inside of your body. So when your lungs hold more oxygen and vitality, usually people are exhausted because of the carbon. When the carbon comes is inside of your body, it feels like you're dying. So if you had to hold your breath, it's the carbon that's being released that you're not releasing it that feels like you're dying. But when your
Right.
body get used to it, your body holds more vitality. Technically, we need the vitality that's in the air, really. So when you inhale, if my lungs can hold more oxygen than your lungs, I definitely have more vitality inside of my body to be able to move this item. That's why you
Right.
see a lot of practitioners say they make you do push-ups. They make you do push-ups real
Right.
quick jumping jacks. It's not to just be muscular or be strong,
Right.
but it's to get your vitality going, get your energy in your body flowing
Right.
before you be able
Right.
to move a few things.
Primarily right now, is it just like you mentioned earlier, the grounding? Is it the grounding and the prana breath that you mentioned? Like, are those the two primary exercises that you do prior to practice?
I would say primarily yes. I have taken at the beginning. I have taken Ormus for about like 2 months,
Oh,
two or
very
three
cool.
months to try to feel a difference. I do feel a difference in taking Ormus. It do make you feel more a little electrifying a little bit.
Right, right,
You do have to keep taking it. It's not like I want to say Ormus make things permanent. Ormus isn't like a trick to telekinesis as if you take it now I'm just gonna be doing moving objects
right,
around.
right,
But
right,
it do helps get your cells stimulated, more electrifying. So when you do practice, your body is
right,
easily conditioned to hold that type of vitality or electricity running through your body. So, but
right.
I took it for 3 months. I haven't really taken it. Sometimes I do take nano gold. It's like nanoparticles. If you was to look it up, they have different things. It's similar to Ormus.
Mhm.
Technically, a lot of people don't understand our body is made of like electrical charges. Gold is like the highest conductor of electricity. So just like how you could take iron or sea salt, copper, and Ormus, they have nano gold particles that's similar to the same, that which will allow you to, get a little extra charge, if you would say. But majority of the thing is in intent though. We don't actually need this stuff. I kind of try it just to see like what would be the effects, but our body naturally produces this anyway. Like when our body, like when we digest food, like the stuff that in the bottom of our stomach creates Ormus for us anyway. It
Right,
creates that. And that's why it says our stomach is the sea of energy. It creates that by itself. It's just that you're just putting a little extra boost on it. That's all.
right, right. Interesting. So, Lawrence, what is like the heaviest object that ever been able to influence so far?
The heaviest object I've been able to move, believe it or not, I think the strongest video I have is the garbage cans, believe it or not.
Yeah, yeah, that was epic. Yeah,
Bro, listen, I didn't even know that video was crazy until like my friends or my girlfriend told me that video was crazy. I didn't, believe it or not, bro. Sometimes I be trying to go so crazy in my mind that I thought that I was actually frustrated, believe it or not, with that video. I was actually frustrated because I was like, yo, why does this garbage can why it's not sliding? Like in my head, I just believe like it's supposed to slide, but this is the trick. You're not actually moving the garbage can. You're generating, like, for example, if somebody go outside and ground right now, if you go outside and ground and inhale,
right,
if you just let your awareness go, you will feel the wind pick up. Some people call it calling the wind. You will feel the wind pick up. It'll feel like eerie, like
right.
it'll be against your skin. And sometimes, I don't know, it could be me, because some people's hands get hot when they do telekinesis. My hands, for some reason, gets cold. I haven't really found out exactly why. I know that I am born underneath the yin sign, which is feminine energy, which is more cooler. I haven't really.
That's very interesting. Yeah, not to interrupt you, but I've been told that the yin energy, the feminine energy, if you will, is more geared towards telekinesis and stuff like that, rather than the hot yang type energy. At least that's I could be wrong. I'm certainly not an expert at yin and yang energies and
Yeah.
whatnot. But that kind of does make sense. So when I observe you and you move in like heavy objects and stuff like that, just curious. Was that was there stuff in that trash can too? Like,
Oh no, that was empty,
oh,
completely empty
okay,
can.
okay,
Bro,
okay.
if that
Well,
was
still,
imagine,
regardless, that's
right?
impressive. Yeah.
Soon come. That's why you just gotta tell yourself soon come. The fact, this is the thing. This is what all it takes for me to get my adrenaline rush. If I try to move something and I see it move a little bit, that's all I need. That's all you need.
Right.
That's all you need. It moved.
Right.
It doesn't matter how much it moved. It could have moved just a little bit. It moved. If
Right.
it moves a little bit, that's all I need to know to believe that I can do it. The rest is just building the concentration and the energy to
Right.
attempt to try it. So, but like how you say, the heaviest items I moved was the garbage can sliding. That was like super crazy. But to get
Yeah.
them to roll, I always knew I could get them to roll. I don't know why. Like if the weather feel like airy just a little bit, forget about it. If I lay the garbage can down and I focus enough, that garbage can is going to roll over. Something with rolling items. I don't know if I put it inside of my own subconscious about rolling items. I just think it's cool to roll items back and forth. Like, for example, I can show you a few things right now.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah. Certainly.
Let me
I
try
don't
to.
think I've ever had a guest, except for like you mentioned Anthony Antonio Telekinesis that perform stuff live. So
Yeah, I like to do things live too. Usually, I don't even really do it on these tables. Some people be wanting like the super slick tables, you know.
right.
But like for example, I was talking to you the whole time. I didn't really meditate, you know.
Right.
But off of your hand aura, see how the cup is already moving?
Mm-hmm.
If your hand aura is strong enough, it'll move.
Right.
Now you can roll it all the way off the table, you know, or let's just say, let me just try to get it here. Let's say I want to try to like pull it back towards me. Hold on. It's like an energy grid bubble that you play with. You see how it just, hold on. See at the beginning it kind of just like stagnated a little bit.
Right.
But then after that it'll pull. I usually like to pull towards myself like when I do these things.
Right.
Because a lot of people will say, you know, they suffer from the wind critics. They'd be like, oh, it's just wind. How do you throw wind forward for something to come backwards towards you, you know? So it's like you're playing with a field that's a grid. Sometimes for beginners, like this is like a little Nerf bullet, like that you shoot out of a Nerf gun.
Right.
And I just ripped the tip off. This, to me, I feel like is one of the easiest things to practice with.
Oh, nice. Okay.
For something to go back and forth, you get great reaction, and you don't really need a strong auric field for it, if you ask me. Like this, see, look, I barely even move my hand a little bit. See?
Right.
I could be here, roll it backwards. See?
Very good. Very nice. Yeah.
So it's like this is like the easiest kind of thing to like play around with. Some people like to play around with foil a little bit. I was gonna try to see if I can get a little side wheel action for you guys a little bit. Let me see. Let me just. I like to do things like this too, like, you know, straight on the scene. So, you know, some people feel like, you know, this guy gotta be fake. Yo, can you believe one of my videos, right? When I pulled the apple juice bottle sliding on the ground, somebody said I had a fishing line, bro. A fishing line. I mean, you get those I don't even fish.
I know. I often get those comments as well, so I can totally relate. I mean, people say,
I just wanted to say that for all the practitioners that think that everyone don't go through these type of comments and harsh criticism. I get them all day, bro.
Oh, me too. So
all day. I'm like, fishing.
I just want to say something. I think that's part of the reason why I like interviewing people and having a community, because it's like if we just say there's like multiple guys doing this, it's more believable. I think, you know. So
now we got like the little foil here. See. Sometimes you could get like a little delay. I like the delay effect because the delay makes it so like super cool, you know?
Right.
You know, however you get it, you know, sometimes let's just say if the cup is up straight, sometimes off like this grid aura, I try to pull an energy towards me. I make the cup come off the table. Let me show you. Oh, so
yeah.
So it's like wherever the space is between, it's almost like you go blank the same way you do the side wheel though. You go blank. Then I think the rest is between belief and just feeling like it'll feel like dense air. That's the only way I can explain it. Right. Some people is not good at explaining the technicalities, and I understand that's why people can't write telekinesis books.
Right.
Like there's a manual. You really can't. Please forgive anybody that can't explain it. You know, like there's not like a real manual, but if I had to say, it's like dense, like the air get dense and it feel a little different.
Right.
And whatever that is, you just try to move that like a dense cloud, like you're playing with energy that you can't see, like a dense cloud. And you just try to just move it towards you. So if you get like a Nerf bullet, sometimes foil, I think foil is good because sometimes it makes that U-turn move. The U-turn move lets you know that it's definitely not you. See how I did that?
You'll have we actually I'm not able to see it actually.
Oh, I'm sorry. I moved it back.
Pull the cable back. Yeah.
Look. See how it turned a little bit?
Certainly, yeah.
See how it's turning?
Certainly, yeah.
Or it flipped. Trying to show you the turn. Seeing it? It get like that last.
Yeah, maybe if you can pull the table up a little bit more. Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah, because we can't see the other side. Yeah.
Wait, that was a good one. But I just wanted to see the halfway part. See how it realigns? Like it's a turn that's gonna come with it. Watch. Wait. That. You see how it busts like a car U-turn?
Right.
When you see that on the foil, that's when you know that you're onto something. Try to get on the side. Wow. I guess that was cool, but that's not what I was trying to get it to do. See it?
Yeah.
See how it just, whatever that move, I'm trying to pull something and it did a whole turn. When you see that turn maneuver for the beginners, that's when you can kind of be like, it'll shock your brain when you do it yourself.
Right.
It'll shock your brain. You'll be like, wow, I didn't do that because I definitely did not turn that around.
Right.
You know, and then from those type of things, you get better at it. Keep practicing. Sometimes like your head, like your forehead is starting getting tight.
Right.
Forehead in the front to get tight. It's just basically like lifting weights. Like when your brain muscles that get tight, and then eventually, as you keep practicing, you don't feel it anymore. And then you realize you have more power than you did last time because you're not using as much strain or strength to really be able to do some of these things. You know?
Right. Lawrence, so you mentioned that you meditate every other day. How many hours of actual practice do you do every day?
Practice. I could say I have some days where I could practice for 2 hours.
2 hours straight, or?
Yeah, straight through. I could just go in the zone and just be practicing. One time I made up to like 3 hours.
Wow.
3 hours practicing straight through. The next thing you know, I got so tired because it was like late in the morning. And then, some days I might practice for an hour straight. Some days I can meditate for an hour, then come practice an hour straight. It doesn't even really make a difference. It's more, I get excited off of practicing telekinesis. Don't let me start like if I go outside with arrow and I start getting like some good results, I'll be out there for 2 hours and then come inside and then do inside work for a whole nother hour sometimes.
That's awesome. So yeah.
I take it as
a little bit. Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
One more thing, because I like to help as many people as I can, because believe it or not, I'm more self-taught. I don't have like a real like mentor. Like I literally watch different people videos. I do research and try to just get whatever I take from it. So a lot of people be shocked because I wish I had somebody to direct me when my third eye first opened up. Like I never had that, but my intuition, I guess you could say, is high. I'm blessed. you know, so I'm kind of like directing myself through this. There is a difference between live energy and dead energy. Some people I feel like, well, how can you go outside and move those bins or move those bottles around, and then you come inside and you won't be able to perform it the same? When you go outside, the elements of the world, you know, as you know, it's like earth, wind, fire, you know, light. Outside is charged energy. You have a lot of utility outside. You have unlimited oxygen. You have sun power. You have unlimited light from the sun. You know, you have electricity that's in the ground from when the lightning strikes the earth, and those poles run the electricity into the ground. So you're using your energy. So, you know, when you're outside, you're mixing your chakra energy with the world energy. You're fusing it together, and that equals a lot of power. So you have more ability to move. Sometimes people be like, "Oh, that's wind." But if you have to watch the airbender, air is an element. It's an assistant. You was assisted by wind. That's why we call it aerokinesis, because
Right.
it's still a kinesis, but it's just arrow. I was help assisted. You
Right.
know, but when you're inside, you only think about if you have a house of 5 people or 10 people, everybody's breathing out carbon dioxide every day out their mouth. You know, you have electronics, PlayStations, computers, you have electronic smog that's on the inside of your house. You don't really have fresh air, you know, unless you have like a air filter or central air, certain things like that. You don't really have fresh air inside of your house. So you
Right.
have to use your natural body of your chakra energy to move these items on the inside of your house. So if
Right.
your hand aura is not strong enough, or if you're mental, or if you're not able to generate enough energy or not enough, it won't move the same. It doesn't mean that you're not doing telekinesis the right way, or you're not, or your belief isn't there. You just have to, you know, strengthen yourself. Some people just give up and they feel like I can't do it, but that's not
Right.
necessarily true. That's what I do like about the side wheel. Not for the side wheel people that be like, they about to kill me. The side wheel people about to side wheel people about to beat me over the head. Let me give the side wheel people credit. That's one thing about the side wheel people. When you do things on the inside of your house and you see that side wheel move, that's your energy. That's your energy. That's your where your focus goes, energy flows. Period. You know, so when you're focusing and that side wheel moving, that helps give people the confidence when you're on the inside of the house to say, hey, I can do something. But like my earlier discussion, you want to be able to be able to feel subtle. It's like a subtle energy. The air turned dense. And when the air turned dense coming off your hand, just try to like guide the dense air, that the density that you feel. Because it's really not what people consider unaware, it's energy. You just can't see it with your own naked eye. And that's really what it is. If you was Magneto, would you want to see the electricity in the air as the item is flying? Magneto can't see the magnetism when he moved the item. Magneto can't see that. He just move it.
Right.
He just feel
Right.
it.
Right.
Remember when he tell Wolverine, he said, I could feel the iron in your body. And then he just rip it out, right? He didn't
Right.
say I could see the iron. He said I could feel the iron in your blood. And he takes it. You have to be able to feel.
Right.
So,
That's
hey,
excellent.
matter of fact, for the sidewalk people, let me. I got a little thing over here too. Let me see. Let me see how I get it. This is not even my thing. I'm gonna try to put it here, get a little something. Back off. Got a little needle thing on here. Come on, sit on the thing right. Oh. Let me get it this way. Let's see if you get in the camera. Try to. Let me see. See what I'm saying? That.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. Let me try to get. You're supposed to sit up straight. I'm just trying to move back a little bit. Come on. Let me try to get it from over here. Look. The side wheel work funny with me, bro. Sometimes I can hit it from deep. Sometimes I can't, depending on what I'm seeing at. Look. See how I react to my hand?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even really like. Now look. Yeah, it's not my friend today.
That's all right.
It's not my friend today. You
It's
see how
okay.
I react to my hand
It's
though?
certainly,
Like
it's
it
okay.
react. Cause look at it now. Sometimes based on your excitement, sometimes based on your aura. Look, see?
Yeah, yeah.
You see how it's turning?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is definitely hard to do it on the spot. I mean, that's one thing that we do want to stress to people that
Like
are
some people,
right,
like you focus, but as I'm trying to tell you, sometimes when your aura is all the way up and you just focus your energy,
right,
and
right,
mind you, I am on the spot. I didn't really meditate or anything, but as you can see, it's still turning, bro.
right.
Look, have to zoom in, It's good practice. Like, and that's why I did it underneath the if you go on my YouTube and you see me do it underneath the glass, I did it underneath the glass because I do believe in mental challenges, though. I like mental challenges. I like tests. For the
Right.
critics, people feel like until you do it underneath glass, then it's like you pass. I don't know. I felt like glass was like the examination test for me. To put it underneath glass and then do it, I feel like that really takes your mind to like another level to see that you did it underneath glass.
Right, right.
So I
Yeah.
I did that on my page, for like the sidewheel people just to show them like, no, the mental power is here, but that doesn't really mean anything. It's what you like to do. When you like to do something, you feel more happy, you feel more joyful. So you have more excitement, more vitality to do these things. If you don't
Right.
like turning sidewheels, you're not really gonna, if you find it boring, you're not really gonna be that good at it. For some people, if you rather not do this, buy the things that you stick in the lawn, the flowery things that the outside work people do.
Right,
That's
right.
just as good as doing a side wheel because you have to control the direction that it's gonna turn. That's still
Certainly,
mental development, so
certainly,
people
yeah.
just have to find what they love to do. And then if you feel like, nah, this is a cool, fun practice for me, you'll notice that you practice a lot longer.
Right, right. Well, thank you for those awesome demonstrations. I mean, that was really cool. So, Lawrence, just final question: what is your ultimate goal with telekinesis? Like, you want to get to the point where you can levitate your body, or something like that, or do you have any specific goals in mind?
Um, Believe it or not, bro, right now I could say my next immediate goal is I want to be able to definitely levitate objects.
Nice.
Eventually I wouldn't mind, levitating fully off of the ground. Being that my hands are always naturally cold, I always, believe it or not, like my favorite like comic book guys was like Gambit and Iceman. Like
Mm,
Gambit has kinetic charge. I love the whole kinetic charge things. That's why I always fancy move it using my hands. But if I
right.
had to pick, for example, like hydrokinesis or pyrokinesis, right? I would naturally pick hydro. But recently, I have seen people do pyrokinesis, and it looks awesome. It looks real fantasy like, and
Right.
I would, like I just don't put a limit onto my brain. If I could just give it like a dead on answer, I would say levitation of objects. That's like my next like step. And some people like they can move or slide any object, whether they lifting it or sliding it across the table. Sliding is a little harder because dudes are friction. I mean, I don't know, bro. It's, believe it or not, it's limitless. I've seen some people teleport an object. It's so much stuff that I've seen people do that's so crazy that I don't know. I just think for any mind, levitation of an object is crazy. If this was right here on this table and I went like this and you seen this float in the camera, that would be too crazy. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It doesn't really matter what you pick up off of this. It could be this. It could be this. It could be anything. It could be
Right.
small as a crumb. If this come up in the air, that'll blow anybody's mind. I think that would
Right.
be good
Yeah.
enough that I can help you know, elevate anybody else. That levitating an object stops all critics. How do you criticize somebody that levitated an object? What do
Right.
you say?
Right. Right. Yeah. Certainly.
you
Certainly.
know? What do you say?
Yeah.
But it's magical. So I'm just
Yeah.
honored that you guys even wanted to, even view me. When I watched you guys, I watched your channel last year, and I was watching your channel to see what people would say. I'm like, I want to see what Seven gonna say. I want to see what Chris gonna say. Like, I was watching this stuff. Like, I want to see what these guys is gonna say because I was watching your channel when I didn't even believe.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay.
So you
Interesting.
got to think about where it, like, for me, that's why I said I'm honored a lot. Because as much as people going to watch this and take from me, I'm completely honored, bro, for real. Because I
Oh,
never thought that I can be able to, like, there's going to be thousands of people later on that's going to watch this video. And there's
right.
going to be, I don't care if it's one person like me, they're going to watch me and going to say, yo, thanks, bro. I
Yeah.
just needed a little bit of something of a direction to go in. Because
Right.
when I
Right.
first, telling you, when this first happened to me, I had no direction. I was glad to watch
Right.
people on your
Right.
channel explain and just say anything. Like, just say, people want to do telekinesis, they want to hear you just say anything to point them a little step further towards their goal.
Right, right. Yes, certainly. That's beautifully well said. I mean, I can certainly relate as well. I mean, 2 years ago, roughly around this time, Seven personally, insight into the telekinesis group, Seven personally got, was it Skype? Yeah, Skype or something like that. And like, he taught me telekinesis and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, that video that I recorded, still, exists on this channel. But yeah, it was a really really cool moment, and ever since then I've just been so passionate about just gaining more abilities and stuff like that. And I made a lot of mistakes along the way, but I progressed fairly well, I would say. So
Yeah, that's great, bro. I mean, the fact that you're even doing a sidewheel underneath glass, that's still monstrous, bro.
yeah,
Like
yeah, I
when I watch
appreciate
you, I
that.
don't care how it turns. I don't care if you use the arm. Listen, don't let anybody tell you how to do anything. You do it based on your own skill or technique.
Right,
Like for example, like if you was watching wrestling, right? If you looked at WWW, well, I'm 34. If you watch WCW, it was a guy named Diamond Dallas Page who had the diamond cutter. Or
right,
the Randy Orton RKO. Is it that much
right.
different from the Stone Cold Stunner? Not
Yeah,
that much different, or if you watch, Goldberg's spear
right,
to, somebody like Edge who had the spear. They do it a little bit different, but we get into the same goal. So if you turn the paper with the arm chant, or you turn the paper with not doing anything, or hands or no hands, it doesn't even matter, bro. You still have to use the power of your mind to do it. So like all criticism is like, that's just people who don't understand. When you hear this is one major thing that somebody told me. They said, if you're not getting criticism like that, or people attacking you online, we call those the Agent Smiths of the Matrix. That's their
mhm,
job. When you watch the Matrix,
right,
the Smiths' jobs was to deter you from getting out the Matrix. Their
right,
only job, bro, peep this, right? And I seen Jedi, and Jedi, if he watched this video, he could contest to this. Anytime I put up a video, there's somebody that always puts a thumbs down on all my videos. If you go, it's only one thumbs down. Whoever that is an Agent Smith. I don't even know if it's somebody for
right,
real. And
right.
guess what? I'm not
That's a
even
good way
looking
to
to
look
find
at
out
it.
who it
Yeah,
is. I'm not even
right.
looking to find out who it is, because that's their job. You get
Mhm.
it? Like, that's their job. If you're not getting thumbs down, if somebody not telling you that your telekinesis is fake, then that means that you have to really step it up. You're not nice
Right,
until people believe that it's fake, because when they believe that it's fake, that means that you altered reality for real. You get it?
right,
You
right.
alter
That's
reality
a
for
great
real.
way
When
to
they
look
believe, when
at
they telling you, yo, this is fake, bro,
it.
that's when you gotta be like, yeah, yes, I made it. I
That's a
made it.
great
You think
attitude
it's
to
fake?
have, and I certainly have to remind. I mean, I'm so glad I interviewed you. I certainly have to remind myself of that because I, for the longest time, would just get so bummed out. Like, man, like I just got criticized by 10 people or something. I'm like crying in my bedroom, like But yeah, no, you're right. Like, I mean, I still get bummed out. I can't. I'm human. I have emotions. I can't deny
Yeah.
that, but that is a great attitude to have, and like it's a great reminder for myself, like hey, like I'm doing my job, and that's just
Yeah,
gonna
like when somebody
inevitably
be
happen.
like, no way, bro, that gotta be fake. When they start telling you
Right,
stuff like that, you gotta be like, you gotta read it. I mean, of course it's gonna affect you. Like, come on, bro, I can't just get my credit. But then you gotta think about it like, yes, I gotta get better than. Because if they think that this is fake, imagine when you do more crazier stuff.
I
I just
know.
want to see what they're gonna say. And when
Right,
that guy told me, He said, "Hey, bro, that was a great clip. I mean, it's crazy how you just, you know, hit the fishing line." And I was just like, wow, I've really made it for real. This guy think I'm using a fishing line.
Right.
You know, and then that's what you have to think to yourself. Like, if that's what you think when you see my video, I really created an illusion. I'm really a magician then. It doesn't matter what I'm doing on my side. Whatever I'm doing on my side, I'm controlling your reality, whatever you're watching. If you believe that I use the fishing line, whoever's the practitioner is got to think to themselves, I really have a lot of power in my hands.
Right.
You know? That's really what you really do. You have a lot of power. For the people that levitating stuff off of anything. Like, for example, like you see guys that I seen a guy like it's a guy named Master DeRoche. I seen a guy put like a flower in the air and he just left it there. And I was like, wow. What do you say? like you know, what do you do? When people start saying, come on, you guys believe that for real? That's when you know you made it.
Right. That is true. That is true. Very well said, brother. Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for this awesome interview. You have tremendous amount of wisdom and great skill sets. And thank you so much for demonstrating live. Not a lot of people are like, "Oh man, I'm nervous if I fail," but you just did it, and you made it work and stuff like that. And that's just awesome that you have the
yeah. If I had my other bigger table that I usually practice on, but I got company inside the house. But if I had the bigger table, I probably would have spun the vases, like probably a little more. But people can go to Facebook. I'm in a Facebook group that you're in. They can come there, come check us out. I'll probably post different videos in there, or like I said, or go to our YouTube pages. But like I said, it was an honor, bro. I appreciate you tremendously.
Yeah. Likewise. Thank you so much, brother. And definitely check out Extreme Power at YouTube. We will link that in the description below. And he's got an awesome channel going on. And come join 7Z2, Facebook group as well. So, okay. Well, thank you so much, Lawrence. And thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.